part of being in this industry and in this club as well. Man United is the biggest club in the world, and of course we want to be part of European football. But we want to do that by, like my players did last season. I think they were excellent, the players, because they were, when I'm talking about this fear of failure, they were afraid of not making it to the Champions League because we were so many points behind. They pulled themselves together, came together as a team, and we achieved third, which was a very good achievement. This year we've worked hard, striving towards trophies, and we're second. And we want to. I back my team to be there in the top in Europe, but I still think that fear of failure is helping us do that. And that's being a sporting competitor as I am, and my nature is not being handed things. We can't be handed a place. That's my opinion. Anyway, that's long enough on one. So.
Okay, we'll move on to the Leeds preview now.
Yeah, that's...
You nervous?
Let's talk about this weekend, because talking about exciting football games, the Leeds away is an exciting game for us.
But what sort of game and atmosphere are you expecting at Ellen Road then, Ollie?
Well, inside the stadium there won't be any fans, unfortunately, but obviously it's important that we focus on our game. You know, fans between our clubs have always had a rivalry, and it has to be a healthy rivalry. That's important as well in a period like this, for me, that we don't incite or brew anything up. We play football, and that's important that we've listened now. We've listened to the fans, and I'm so happy that the fans have been heard. And then let's go on to the game of football.
And in terms of the match, Ollie, obviously you had a brilliant result against them at Old Trafford and a brilliant performance as well. What sort of effect and do you see that Leeds will try to have in this game? Do you think they'll have a bit of a point to prove against your side?
You know, that game, we started unbelievably well. We scored in our first two attacks, and it was never a 6-2 win. We've looked at it. Obviously, we've analysed it ourselves. I don't expect the same type of scoreline, because the difference between the teams were not 4 goals. We were clinical. We scored some fantastic goals. We had some great saves by David at important times. Just before half-time, it could have easily been 4-2. Just after half-time, easily, they had chances there as well. So we know that we'll be stretched physically and mentally in this game. Completely unique game of the season.
Aurelius?
Hi, Ole.
Hey.
I just wanted to ask you about your upbringing, because your links to, of course, Kristiansund. You're born, raised in a place where no one would expect a team to do anything or a player to achieve great things. How important is that dream for a player? I mean, obviously linked up to the happenings this week, but it's special for you because you're born somewhere where you never would expect someone to get from there to the Champions League, and it says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah, of course, but you don't expect Kristiansund to make it. You don't know the mentality of the people from Kristiansund. That's completely out of order. Because, no, we've always had, you know, if you work hard for something, you can achieve it. Aim high and dream high, and you never know what you'll achieve. And that is what the football pyramid is built on as well. You know, the dreams of my dreams. I've scored thousands of winning goals in a Champions or a European Cup final or an FA Cup final when I was on my own, up in my on the pitch just above us. And that's part of football. You have to dream big, and to be an example of that is great for me, of course, coming from Kristiansund. I hope other players from Kristiansund, boys or girls, can make it around in European football, of course.
Samuel Luckhurst.
Ollie, I appreciate there's a game this weekend, but given the seriousness of the Super League this week, I mean, can you, to United fans, can you genuinely say that Joel Glazer, who didn't communicate with United fans for nearly 16 years, hasn't been to a game for nearly, well, over 2 years, and hasn't put a single cent into the club, genuinely cares about the club?
You know, I've said what I've said about the Super League, and I'm so happy that all the owners, all the clubs involved agreed that this was a mistake, and I've always had a good working relationship with the club and the owners. Of course, behind the walls of the building, we speak. They listen to my opinions, and we're working to move Man United forward, of course. And it's important that we all want to be better and improve, and that's what my job is, to improve the results and performance of the team. And this weekend is a good chance, and it's a big game in our history. We know that.
Andy Mitten.
Hi, Ollie.
Hi. Can you hear me, Andy?
On the strength of fans this week, do you think fans deserve more of a voice in football?
I think the fans, as I said, football without the fans is nothing, and that's why we have to listen to them. And I'm happy that the voice of the fans, players, managers were heard. They've all been voicing, or we've been voicing our opinions this week, and it's important. And you know, when that's part of my job as well, to speak to the Man United supporters and fans. Showing them that we want to be a better team that we are now, and that's my job, to get us up the table and start challenging for trophies.
James Cooper.
Hi, Ollie. Apologies for being predictable. I think you probably expect a couple more questions on this, and I do apologise for that. Ed brought you back to the club. I just wonder your thoughts on his move to resign, how aware you were of what was going on, and whether you even considered your future, because a lot of people have said a lot of emotional things this week.
Well, football is emotions, and emotions run high in football. I've had a very, very good working relationship with Ed, and the club will have to move on without him, and I'm sure Man United will always move on, and we'll work to get. I'll work as long as the Man United want me to work here, and hopefully we can end this season successfully. And Ed is part of that.
Carlson?
Yes, hello.
Yeah,
hi. About the Leeds game, Leeds against Man United, that's a huge one in the English game. What can you tell us about your views on that rivalry, and what does these games mean to you?
They mean a lot to me, because obviously we know the history about the Leeds of the old days, Super Leeds. That was the generation before mine, and that was my dad's generation. And he's grown up with seeing them winning the league. I've played in some massive games against Leeds, where we had a proper challenge from that team early 2000 with, for example, Erik Bakke played for them, and we as a team, we got stretched against them. Our team, we looked forward to those games, and we had some fantastic games. There was respect for the level, and they stretched us. I feel the same now with the Leeds team coming up this year. They've shown their qualities, and they're going to stretch us. They're going to challenge us, and we have to be ready for this game, physically and mentally.
Simon Stone.
Hi, Ollie. Sorry. You mentioned before about not wanting to incite the situation, and clearly there's a rivalry off the field. But what's happened this week couldn't have incited the situation anymore. The anger amongst the clubs who are not in the top six is there for everybody to see. Are you concerned that could have an effect tomorrow on Sunday, and fans might turn up to voice their opinions about Manchester United as a football club?
I'll repeat myself as well, but in a strange way, this situation has brought football together as well, and fans together, and fans of different clubs. Everyone understands that, you know, the players, the fans, they haven't been part of this, and so a Man United fan and a Leeds United fan, they have the same opinion on this topic. So I don't think that's going to be an issue. And when you play against top teams anyway, when you play against your rival, you expect fans to support their own team.
We've got last question for Paul Hurst.
Hi, Ollie. You said it's part of your job to speak to fans. I'm just wondering, what was your kind of meeting with the group that came down to Carrington Light yesterday, and kind of do you understand that they have a right to protest and air their grievances?
Yeah, of course, I will always listen to the fans, and I thought it was the only right thing to do, is to go and listen to them and speak to them and have a nice discussion with them, and peaceful discussion, and because it's important that we respect each other's and respect each other's views. I said a few things about what I think the team will do in the future, or what we spoke about. We don't really need to discuss that, but it was a good 10 minutes, and I was happy with that. Of course, we didn't shake hands. We gave a fist bump, and then we parted.
Thank you very much, everyone.